Yo, what is up guys, Ghost here, welcome back to another video. We've got a number of topics to go over today. First of all, it looks like Battlefield 6 has really hit the ground running, even though the game hasn't shown off any official gameplay, never mind being released, but it seems like people are really getting excited about it. There has been a record amount of wishlist set for the game in just over one single weekend over on Steam. Interest around the game seems to be really kicking off. I wanted to thank you guys as well so much for the reception on my video yesterday. That video almost hit 100,000 views in 24 hours, which is, well, let's put it this way, I can't remember the last time that happened to my channel, so thank you so much to everybody who tuned into that. We're going to be covering the latest EA earnings call. Over there, Andrew Wilson said, quote, "We've spent a lot of time and a lot of energy ensuring that this Battlefield is the Battlefield that the community expects." So it sounds like EA are doing everything right, but are they actually going to succeed with this game? And then there's been a new leak where apparently wall hacks at some point look to be making it into Battlefield 6, but that's kind of been debunked. So I do want to touch on that just to put anybody's fears there to rest. So without further ado, let's just jump into the video. As always, if you guys enjoy the content on the channel, this is a great place to be if you want to stay up to date with everything Battlefield 6 going forward. Tomorrow, we're of course going to see the gameplay reveal. Battlefield posted this list of content creators who are going to be attending events and streaming the game live from those events, and for some reason, they removed this, not once, but twice from their social media. I think it's fair to say the community at large weren't that impressed by this list of content creators. There's definitely some solid Battlefield people in here that I really love seeing there, but there's also a lot of people I've not heard of, to be honest with you, and then a bunch of Call of Duty people. I think the reason why they're inviting people outside of the Battlefield circles is obvious. They want to market the game to those other creators who don't play Battlefield, and then obviously their audiences as well, in order to sell the game and hopefully entice those content creators to jump ship and get on the Battlefield wagon. That is not a massive surprise to me, that's pretty much just marketing, but nevertheless, most of the comments on that particular thread were negative about the choice of content creators, and so it looks like EA have since deleted this list of content creators and instead replaced it with a small snippet from the latest trailer. I will not be attending any of these events as EA didn't invite me, but I will be live streaming everything here on the channel starting from 6 PM UTC time tomorrow. So if you guys want to come and hang out with me, have a bit of a watch party, watch the gameplay reveal trailer together, and then have a bit of a chat about it. I'm not sure what's going to be going on after that. Probably will be tuning into some other content creator streams and stuff like that. Then feel free to do so. I would love to have you here. So as I mentioned at the start of the video, people seem really hyped up about Battlefield 6 so far. Battlefield Bulletin, he posted this saying, according to a linear analytics data, Battlefield 6's reveal trailer has attracted over 7.5 million views. The Steam store page drew in nearly 500,000 wishlists over the weekend, with 60% having previously played Battlefield 2042. So that is a heck of a lot of wishlists there for one single weekend. No idea how many it's up to now. Steam don't actually publicize how many wishlists games have, I don't think, but they do show the number of followers. So it's not quite the same thing. You know, the number of followers doesn't necessarily equate to the number of wish lists, but here's a bit of a graph showing you the increase in followers for a number of upcoming games here, and as you can see, Battlefield 6 is kind of going through the roof. I also find it rather intriguing that 60% of these people have previously played Battlefield 2042, so it seems like there are going to be maybe a lot of new players here coming into BF6, but also then that means that 40% of them didn't bother playing Battlefield 2042 at all, so those are probably, let's call them veterans of the series, who've been waiting on the sidelines for a great Battlefield game to release, and it sounds like they're hopeful that this could be it. Comment down below and let me know, have you played Battlefield 2042 or not? Which camp are you in? Did you maybe skip that game and you've been waiting for a decent game to come along? Now, as many of you who will know who've been watching the channel here for a while, EA generally like to do their quarterly earnings calls right before a big event or some big reveal, and yesterday was no exception. So we saw the first quarterly earnings call for the fiscal year of 26, and these are some of EA CEO Andrew Wilson's statements. So he says, "We've been investing more behind this Battlefield than any Battlefield product before it. Content creators will spend all day with the products tomorrow, and they'll begin streaming that product, Battlefield 6, out to their fan bases on Thursday. We believe that the game we've built and all the modes around it are very in line with fan expectations around the world, both existing Battlefield fans and new to the franchise fans. We spent a lot of time and a lot of energy ensuring that this Battlefield is the Battlefield that the community expects. And so given that relative to what we're seeing in the marketplace, we feel very, very good about our launch window this year. So no release date yet, but I suspect we might see one tomorrow. I know you have many questions. A great many of those will be answered. You may leave with some more, but almost all of them, I hope, will be positive in nature. Andrew Wilson also mentioned that this Thursday's reveal event will be their most ambitious reveal yet, with a massive multiplayer showcase featuring epic maps and modes and a behind-the-scenes look with developers. So it really does sound like EA are throwing absolutely everything at this game. They've invested $400 million, all the content creators that they've basically paid for to go to these events. And I do think it needs to be stated as well that it's rumored that a lot of these content creators have accepted sponsorship deals. So not only have they been completely taken care of and had everything paid for them to attend the event, the flight, the hotel, completely been taken care of food-wise and all of that stuff, but they're receiving excessive amounts of money to make a certain number of videos on the beta, which I'm almost certain we will see announcements for the dates of that in tomorrow's reveal trailer. Oh yeah, just to add to that as well, Andrew Wilson has also stated that the base game price for Battlefield 6 will remain at $70. So I know that to me is already quite a lot of money, especially considering they're going to have battle passes in there, they're going to be selling cosmetics, there's going to be microtransactions. I think $70 is like quite enough of money as it is, but I'm still relieved to hear that they're not going to take the jump up to the $80 threshold like we've seen Nintendo do. So I'm not sure if that's really cause for celebration for you guys. You only have to pay $70 for the game, but it is what it is. Now, as always, during this weekend, I'm going to continue to bring you guys as much gameplay on Battlefield 6 as I can. Obviously, I'm not attending any of these events, so I can't bring you my own gameplay, but I will see if I can get my hands on some. What I would stress to you guys, though, is basically just wait for the open beta, get your hands on the game and play it then. And I've had a lot of people saying, Ghost, you know, why do you keep telling us that the game might not be good, or insinuating that it may not be good, when we've already seen gameplay out of labs? And on one hand, I would completely agree that whilst the leaks from Battlefield Labs do look fantastic, and to be honest with you, it would be impressive if EA managed to fumble the ball on this game, given the position that they've got themselves in here, which is an extremely positive one. But from looking at some of the recent leaks and the comments underneath them, you know, if you watched yesterday's video, you'll know I was telling you guys that there are leaks all over YouTube. If you guys want to go and see high-quality Battlefield Labs leaks, you can go and look at that. And it seems very evident to me that from the comments, most people don't really understand that that is from a pre-alpha build. So some of the comments around it are actually negative. And so if DICE and EA were to give out such a build for the beta that wasn't finished and wasn't polished enough, it could actually lead to a bad impression for a lot of players, even if they tell them, hey, this isn't a finished build, it's just a beta, this is not what the game is going to be like. I think we have to judge the game based on what we get in our hands and what is available to play. So for me personally, until I get that build in my hands and I've played it and I've seen hopefully some impressive footage tomorrow, I'm not going to be 100% sold, and certainly not telling you guys, hey, I encourage you to buy the game, or I think it's a good game, and endorsing it in that manner, because I don't want to lead you guys astray, you know, especially since EA have been doing that so much with the past couple of Battlefield games. So when you hear me saying these things, guys, believe me, I'm hyped, I'm excited, 99% of my brain is sure, based on what I've seen, it's going to be fantastic, but there's just a little part of my heart that says, don't get sucked in. Don't get completely fooled by them again until you get it in your hands. But overall, it does look great. You know, the leaks that have been dropping, people are enjoying them. The comments on the leaks are mostly super positive. I think EA really have this golden opportunity, and we're right at the finish line, so let's just hope that they don't cock it up with anything. And that actually segues me perfectly into the last topic here of today's video, and that is that there was a report of wall hacks being an ability in Battlefield 6. So this actually came out of Rival X Factor, and he posted this over on Twitter and then on Reddit as well, and this got a lot of traction yesterday. And he said, Battlefield 6 has added wallhack abilities. Ever hear of Apex Legends? Bloodhound has an ability to scan people through walls, which highlights them. It also gets extended when you get eliminations, just like Bloodhound worked for years. This is available via the Assault class upgrade system, and is currently called the Mark II Stimulant. Now, before we read any further into this, I do want to post David Serlin's reply. David Serlin is the lead producer for the game, and he actually replied here on Reddit saying, what is referred to here was an old initial make classes as impactful as possible exploration for the Assault class gadget, the Stim Pen. It was tested on labs for, I believe, one build a long time ago, and it has been removed from the feature set since then, for good reasons. So hold on to your horses, see you later this week. So for anybody out there who's been, losing their mind over the possibility of wallhacks being in Battlefield 6, apparently this is just something that got leaked out of one single build. And this can actually be the reason that leaks are bad for labs, because people will see things that eventually, of course, don't make it into the finished game. To some degree, they are testing the game there, they are taking feedback on board, and they're making changes and amendments to it based on that feedback. And so I think sometimes things can get taken a little bit out of context, and Rival X Factor, I gotta say it, man, he's been doing a lot of that over the past few days and weeks. So just to reiterate, tomorrow I will be live streaming both here on the YouTube channel and also over on Twitch for anybody who prefers to watch over there. I'm going to be going live at 6 o'clock UTC. We'll have a bit of a pre-show just hanging out, talking about our expectations for the trailer. We'll watch the gameplay stuff, and then whatever happens after that, because I honestly don't know what's going to happen, we'll stream that and experience it together. So I hope to see a bunch of you guys there. I am getting hyped, I am getting excited, I really, just for all of our sakes, hope it's going to be everything we've dreamed of for Battlefield. To be honest, this game doesn't even have to be like a 10 out of 10, it just has to be maybe like a 7 or an 8, and I think people would still be happy with that. So it looks like this time EA may have actually done the right thing. This game is in the bag. As always, guys, let me know what you think about everything in the video. Leaving a like down below is always appreciated. Subscribe to stay up to date with everything Battlefield. And if you're somebody who watches the videos and you maybe think you're subscribed, check below, because I can see from statistics that the vast majority of you guys are not. That's always appreciated. Have a great day. And yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow, hopefully, in the live stream. Have a good one.